to the most exalted vigilant. We must all fulfill our duty to the Protectorate. We're all in this together.
The matriarch chose Eden because she recognized it as the perfect ecosystem. The native flora and
Bonjour, bonsoir, mes salutations, The Outer Worlds 2. Eh bien, je suis à Westport et je dois rencontrer un bonhomme, Hogwarts, quelque chose comme ça. Hogarth, le chef de la zone. Voilà. Et si je me souviens, voilà. C'est un peu le marrant. C'est le truc que j'avais dit que c'était marrant. West Point, c'est à l'est. Ce jeu est un peu délirant. Hein. Et je crois bien que c'est le message, c'est le but.
Are you mentally refreshed?
Greetings. Under Protectorate law, we are bound to inform you that you have entered a recreant locality. It is my esteemed pleasure to welcome you to Westport, once a shining testament to Protectorate excellence, now a picturesque example of the evils of corporatism. But where are my manners? We do not have much, but please let me offer you some victuals. Tut. I insist. Serving Unit 1. Something for the visitor at once?
Confirmative.
Perhaps you're wondering why I'd open my arms thusly for a stranger. Simple. As the guiding light for humankind, we always put our best foot forward, regardless of circumstance.
designed it, and the sovereign embodies and executes on it. Throughout history, human societies were constantly...
Our society was built from the bedrock up, through the vision of our matriarch. Due to her genius, the structure of our society is perfect, planned down to the last subject. We all work as a unified whole for the betterment of all, unlike those corporate colonies, where it's every person for themselves.
Paradigm affords us a perfect life of contentment and plenty. We have community, purpose, time for recreation. We sleep well at night. Work isn't...
Obviously, there was some sort of betrayal from within. Even a perfect society has its malcontents, and selfish consumerism is an alluring drug for weak minds. But consider all we've achieved that others have not. Why, we've even eradicated manual labor through our perfection of auto mechanicals. Can aunties claim such?
You are the raw material for perfection. From the lowliest subject to the most exalted vigilant, we must all fulfill our duty to the Protectorate.
Actually made me chuckle. And here I'd begun to think that no longer possible. That brings me to a matter I'd like to discuss with you, actually. I believe something still can be done. This town can be saved, its people given a reprieve. Were we to acquire the one thing vital to our existence, automech parts. What?
Comestibles served.
We of the Protectorate pride ourselves on our mech programming. Among the vigilant, it is even considered something of a sport. We are not miracle workers, however. Without parts to work with, we've no hope of remaking our mechs to do tasks beyond their initial functions. We need repair mechs, domestic mechs, not combat ones. Serving Unit 1 here is about as much as can be accomplished without replacement parts.
Nettlesome within Auntie's choice. Though don't fret, the system is resilient. The system abides. But now, more than ever, we must all do our part to maintain it. Keep doing your job with pride. Keep informing on your neighbors. Same as ever. But prudence dictates we give it a little extra.
Oh, you failed to hear the loudspeakers on the way in? The announcement we're obliged to repeat incessantly. Well, allow me to paraphrase. Protectorate law finds us guilty of treason on account of letting Westport fall prey to Auntie's choice saboteurs.
Report them for mental refreshment post-haste. It's not just a good idea, it's the law.
These fine and decent folk don't deserve having their lives thrown away on account of my failures. If I can return the settlement to a reasonable facsimile of its previous glory, sufficiently functioning by employing mechs reprogrammed to repair and rebuild, the arbiters might see fit to penalize only me, commute the others' sentences, allow them to maintain things around here in the spirit of continuity and such.
Look around. If the Protectorate wanted to do right by you, you wouldn't be starving and wallowing in this metal quagmire. You want to help your people? Go to Fairfield.
Fairfield? Why, they're the reason we're in this mess. You'll forgive me for questioning such timely offers of generosity and kindness. No thank you, not interested. I owe it to every single person here to try.
Constantly out of balance. Individualism ran rampant. Depletion of resources and lack of community led to terrible suffering. Poor dear.
Nobody needs go anywhere. Not when we can still save Westport. We of the Protectorate endure as one, regardless of any hardships we must face. It'd have to be catastrophically obvious this place was doomed, and incontrovertibly beyond my means to save it, before I'd even consider such a recourse.
We sleep well at night. Work isn't strenuous or stressful. Food is nutritious and plentiful.
When I look outside, I see people who are hardy and resilient, who trust the paradigm, who understand prosperity will return with time and group effort. I have the aid of key pillars of our community, several persons of note and good character who stand with and by me, and our town still functions. Our automechs are still running, mostly. We have a generator to power them, fresh water, the reassuring voice of everyone's neighbor Prudence wafts from our loudspeakers.
The matriarch chose Eden because she recognized it as the perfect ecosystem. The native flora and fauna, the pleasant atmosphere.
Mock me if you must, but the matriarch herself made greatness out of little. I have a brighter future in mind for Westport, one you can help with, in fact, rather than dwelling on dark maybes and scenarios of worst imagining.
A meticulously designed marvel where, if each of us does our part, produces glorious bounty for all.
Not the first to question my judgment, nor the last, I suppose. One expects a certain lack of social graces from those raised outside the Protectorate. Let us talk plainly. What would it take to secure your aid?
Meddlesome raptidons, or the base individualists within Auntie's choice. Though don't fret, the system is resilient.
Certainly. What would you like to know?
But now, more than ever, we must all do our part to maintain it. Keep doing your job with pride. Keep informing on your neighbors.
I know as an outsider you may not be able to understand this, but the structure of our society is sacrosanct. If any one subject does not do their duty, it puts everyone at risk. Ours was to protect Westport when Aunties attacked us, with our lives if the situation necessitated it. As you can see, we failed. We're also tasked with leading the rest of the subjects, but now that I've become a traitor, the only guidance I provide is to the few left here, and I will do right by them. Is there anything else? Wonderful. My unavoidable march to the gallows feels lighter already. At least now my subjects will have a fleeting chance. The parts can be found at the Euphoria Coast Automech Repair Center to the south, but do not Under any circumstances, tell those stationed there why you need them. To get inside, you will need an access pass from the Ministry of Accuracy. Since we have all been marked as traitors, I cannot create one for you here.
Prosperity, disdain our sense of community. They sneer at our contentment.
Everyone knows the paradigm epitomizes the pinnacle of social order. Why? Because the matriarch herself designed it, and the sovereign embodies and executes on it.
Farewell now.
Human societies were constantly out of balance. Individualism ran rampant. Depletion of resources and lack of community led to terrible suffering. Poor dears didn't have the firm, benevolent hand of the sovereign to guide them. Here on Eden, we all enjoy the full luxury the paradigm affords us. A perfect life of contentment and plenty. We have community, purpose, time for recreation. We sleep well at night. Work isn't strenuous or stressful.
J'ai envie d'essayer. Non, ça passe pas.
We
Outsider?
have every we need. Prudence dictates we take a moment
Ça passe pas.
to rightly
Mais ça peut être
appreciate
marrant.
and thank.
Ah! Oh! Ah bah tiens! Ah, n'importe quoi! Bah non, en fait, pas n'importe quoi.
Seems you've been scouted by Fairfield's finest to assist our efforts in the war. You know, since the ceasefire will inevitably fail. If you do, it'll be great for the folk here. And great for my resume, if I'm honest. Few bullet points like that, maybe it'll be enough to win me a spot on a higher rung. And you? If you help, what are you getting out of this?
Qui c'est qui m'a trahi? Personne qui m'a trahi. Ah oui, oui, oui. Devrait.
Won't blame you for thinking it's kindly to win hearts and minds, but it ain't ever gonna be as potent a strike as dropping a bomb. Though I reckon you know something about that. See, Val helpfully filled me in on your own predicament. Hunting down a fellow agent, huh? I thought you folk were all about nobility, duty, camaraderie above all. Were you one of Auntie's? I tell you just to shake the ladder hard while your traitor is climbing up, and enjoy the show when she tumbles down. What recourse do you actually have? Suppose that tracks. You agents are untouchable, or so the story goes. Ain't had many dealings with the Earth Directorate. You and Ibarra are the first agents I ever met, in fact. But you get things done. I trust you. As for Ibarra, verdict's still out. He insults Auntie's choice a mite too much for my liking. But that's the Earth Directorate's company policy, ain't it? No, not all. Look, I'm sorry. I ain't intending to get into any grievances here. Let's just say I'm a little dubious about the whole keeping corporations and corrupt governments in check thing. Ain't seen evidence of it yet. But maybe you're liable to prove me wrong. Anyhow, reckon we should keep moving. Sounds like your old pal DeVries was in deep with the Order. Now, I don't know a whole lot about them, but I don't reckon fanatical is part of their employee code of conduct. And as you've seen, that kind of loyalty can pose a real problem to everyone else. But we'll track her down before it comes to a head. Don't you worry. Shanty's choice and the Protectorate got a difference in opinion. The Protectorate believe they can't be bloodied. We think otherwise. Got something that needs doing, Commander? How personal are we talking? Couldn't say. I was in it all of 2 days before my graft started festering. Before that, I was an infantry medic. Our platoon was one of the first to touch down in Arcadia. I would have continued serving on the front line in an upgraded capacity, but, well, once the state of my graft became apparent, it was decided that parting ways would be best. My commanding officer, and the surgeon who performed the operation, I imagine. I wasn't lucid at the time. When I regained consciousness, I saw that my service pistol was gone, and a termination notice was in its place. I put 2 and 2 together. Law, that was a bad morning. Look, I knew dismissal was a possibility when I volunteered for the procedure. A successful graft is a boon, a failed one is a colossal liability. I'm a walking lesson in breakage. Oh, that information is outside my purview. I miss my platoon. Most of the time. I hope they're holding on okay wherever they are. Huh. If nothing else, they'll have Ortiz to keep up morale. I know the nonstop jokes from that bastard sustained me for weeks. Yeah, he's tough. He'll be all right. Of course I do. Can't help but wonder if I'm missed in return. Anyhow, I would rather return to the matter at hand. No use dwelling on those out of sight and out of mind. Right. If this new graft fails, you mean? Then I keep pushing forward till I can't anymore. You didn't see me when I first got out of surgery and came to Paradise Island. The fact that you and I met at all is a testament to Doc's skill. But suppose if her treatment doesn't stick, then maybe it's my time to go. You can only cheat death so many times. You know that as well as I do. You can't stay put in an active war zone without someone to watch your back. Without my platoon, I figured I'd do better asking for help in an acquired town. Once Doc healed me up, I found work here, made a living, or something like it. My contract switched hands a number of times, and, well, you see how that turned out. Desperation brought me here. Determination made me stay. Then desperation circled back around and inspired me to escape while I could. I owe Doc more than I could say. She helped me without even asking for payment or a favor up front. I never would have thought folk like her existed out here. She reminds me of the folk I had back home in Taucetti. Generous despite everything. The thought gave me comfort when I first sat in her chair, barely able to walk without help. I'd rather not dwell on those moments, if it's all the same to you. What matters is the here and now.
Oh, mais il y a toujours le machin de la conversation. Voilà. C'est-à-dire quoi, ça?
But I wouldn't give for a big bowl of purpleberry crunch right now. Got something that needs doing, Commander?
Welcome back.
like those nettlesome raptidons, or the base individualists within Auntie's choice. Though don't fret, the system is...
Alors, c'est quand même bizarre qu'il n'y a pas de vol ici, quoi. Et ça m'agace, j'ai épuisé toutes les... Je vais pas lui demander de revenir chez Anti-Choice. J'aime- Une option de conversation que j'ai pas... J'ai pas été jusqu'au bout de tout, ça m'agace. Pff.
Well, it's infected. Redstone arrives soon, we'll have to start cutting. You walked in here under your own steam and appear reasonably free of cuts, burns, or weeping lesions. So, I assume you're presently devoid of mortiferous injuries. Good. Because we've got more of that than we can handle. You haven't heard? When Antes invaded, they broke the seawall. Flooded nearly half the town below, where most of the domiciles were. A number of our subjects drowned. Others got concussed, or even crushed. A few were electrocuted or exposed to caustics. Took a while for our water purifier to catch up, so some drank tainted water, which is not good for you at all. I'm glad it's working again. Don't suppose you have any medical supplies to spare, do you? That you might kindly consider donating? Oh, no thank you. Not looking for anything that does more harm than good. I have enough ailments to manage already. From what I've heard about Auntie's medicaments, might poison a patient or cause them to grow an extra head or something. Never know what they're testing out on you.
My extra parts aren't side effects. That's your implication. And anyhow, I should think some minor side effects would be preferable to dying.
Well, fear I've little time for idle chatter. If you'll excuse me, others do need my attention.
Prudence dictates we maintain sufficient zeal at all times. Right now, the Paradigm needs our houses underwater. Hopefully it'll need them dry again someday, but until then, it's a short swim down to your possessions. Imperfect thoughts sure can be invasive.
To deliberate is to court ruin.
Of course, it's part of the Sovereign's plan. He floods our houses, which makes more habitat for fish, which offers us more to eat, which gives us the strength to build new houses. But then, how do I cook the fish? Stay true, outsider. Prudence dictates we maintain sufficient zeal at all times.
You've returned.
Word on the wireless is that Auntie's choice is years behind us sociologically. So they've started the war to grab any part of the paradigm that they can.
progress, sustain the system, serve the sovereign.
A fine quote. My favorite is, we must rout all disruptive factors and invasive elements.
Designed it, and the sovereign embodies and executes on it. Throughout history, human societies were constantly out of balance.
I was sad for a moment because my house got submerged in the flooding. But then the wireless told me everything was splendid. Now I feel much better.
Terrible suffering. Poor dear.
Is missing my favorite automech an imperfect thought?
Of the sovereign to guide them.
I keep thinking it.
Eden, we all enjoy
May safety, amity, and ease be yours.
us. A perfect life.
The wireless said that flooding Westport is routine maintenance to remove the dust that had been building up in our door frames.
Sovereign really does think of everything.
Well at night. Work isn't strenuous or stressful. Food is nutritious and we have everything we need. Still, we take a moment to really appreciate it and thank the sovereign.
From the lowliest subject to the most exalted vigilant, we must all fulfill our duty to the protectorate.
The matriarch succeeded because she recognized it as the perfect native flora and fauna, the pleasant atmosphere, and enriched resources provided a fascinating ecological network together. The matriarch working with and through the sovereign devised the paradigm.
The wireless said that flooding Westport is routine
Marvel where if each of us
Prudence dictates that we watch our neighbors, but I may just invite them over to make it easier.
naturally, sometimes challenges do arise. We all know how invasive
I inhaled so much dust and debris during the attack. Glad the wireless told me that I'm happy and everything's splendid. I was tempted to feel sad after the ocean flooded my house.
seal for now, just to offset any minor disruption.
Grey gone astray? Book a stay today. Are you mentally refreshed?
Bon, j'hésite beaucoup entre s'aborder la survie de Westpoint, Port, je sais plus. Donc s'aborder bon, la ville principale du protectorat. Ils ont tous un peu le cerveau en semoule quand même. Les faire aller rejoindre Auntie's, pas facile à dire ça, Auntie's Choice. Puis en même temps, bon. Auntie's Choice, ils sont un peu particuliers aussi. Hein. Et en même temps, l'idée de... je sais que dans l'aventure, il faudra que j'ai un filtre, entre guillemets, le protectorat aussi. Bon. Est-ce que je peux marquer des points là? J'en sais rien.
Ecological network. To govern it, the matriarch, working with and through the sovereign, devised the paradigm, a meticulously designed marvel where, if each of us does our part, literally everything I own. Naturally, sometimes challenges do arise. Know how invasive species can unbalance even the most robust ecosystem. choice. Though don't fret, the system is resilient. The system is. But now, more than ever, we must all do our part to maintain it. Keep doing your job with pride. Keep informing on your neighbors. Same as ever. Prudence dictates we give it a little extra added zeal.
Under protectorate law, we are bound to inform you that you have entered a locality. Record states as follows. All inhabitants are declared treasonous due to insufficient zeal in defense against seizure, sabotage, and/or manipulative indoctrinatory falsity.
Our enemies envy our prosperity, disdain our sense of community. They sneer at our contentment.
Everyone knows the paradigm epitomizes the pinnacle of social order. Why? Because the matriarch herself designed it. Embodies and executes on it. Societies was out of lack of community led to terrible suffering. Poor dears didn't have the firm, benevolent hand of the sovereign to guide them. We all enjoy the full luxury the
Bon, en tout cas, s'aborder tout ça là-bas, comme ici, serait pas trop difficile. A priori.
we lead. Prudence dictates we take a moment to rightly appreciate it all and thank the sovereign.
You are the raw material for perfection. From the lowliest subject to the most exalted vigilant, we must all fulfill our duty to the Protectorate. We're all in this together.
Bon, allez, allez. Ces pauvres gens ont besoin d'aide là. Ils ont le cerveau complètement lavé. L'autre, même pas aller. Allez, on va s'aborder tout ça. Des deux côtés. L'eau salée. Et là, les. C'est quoi ça? Générateur. Saboter le purificateur d'eau. Journal. Il y a deux trucs à saboter. Okay. Est-ce qu'il faut faire les deux? On fait pas les deux, on en fait qu'une en fait.
Devised the paradigm, a meticulously designed marvel where, if each of us does our part, produces glorious bounty for all. Naturally, sometimes challenges do arise.
Je vais aller voir ce que l'ingénieur voulait que je fasse.
I had a nightmare that the matriarch didn't give us a
Outside. Don't suppose you checked in with Vigilant Hogarth yet, eh? Oh, glad to hear. Probably sprung an important task on you afterwards, I'd wager. I mentioned to the Vigilant how I'd reset my chef mech to prepare meals to my liking. Next thing you know, he puts me in charge of repairing all the mechs in Westport. I mean, sure. All the underlying logic's the same if you mull it over. I've been trained to run them big algae processing units, which were a fair amount more complex. It's just... subjects are expected to mind their assigned area and particular forte. So I was a mite taken aback. But I am happy to help the system abide any way I am able.
Under protectorate law, we are bound to inform you that you have entered a recreant locality. Record states as follows. All inhabitants are declared treasonous due to insufficiency in defense against seizure, sabotage, and/or
Curativist Row is a fine sword. Pillar of our community. Might impatient, sure, but with how busy she is, we'd all do well to respect her time. Watch out for that wine trot fellow. Talk your ear off if you let him. Kinda lonesome, but doesn't let anybody near his place for some reason. Even before the flooding. Everybody else? Decent enough, I guess. Not to indulge in idle talk, but things have been different around here of late. Not at all overwhelmed or terrified of dying, though, of course. The system abides.
Were constantly out of balance. Individualism ran rampant.
Even if I did ever fall prey to such treacherous whimsy, you think I'd be fool-headed enough to admit it to a stranger? Look like I've been kicked by an automech or something? I mean, void damn. Vigilant Hogarth's still here. No matter how bad it gets, keeps us going. Keeps us right. Folks like him prove the paradigm is aligned with the Architect's plan. Just gotta trust the rightful guidance of the Vigilance and the Sovereign.
Well at night. Work isn't strenuous or stressful. Food is
Funny. I reckon that's more true of them over in Fairfield. They love their substandard comestibles and lack of fellowship. Smacks a bit of conspicuous inveiglement to me. Sure feel sorry for them. Maybe someday after we, well, utterly crush their forces and disprove their bent philosophy, we can show them all a right, better way to live. Why, things need to severely decline around here for me to even consider... Oh, shut my mouth. Could never leave our fine Vigilant in the lurch. Fairfield.
The matriarch chose Eden because she recognized it as the perfect ecosystem.
You all right? Something in your eye? Got an eye wash around here somewhere, only a little expired.
C'est pas mal ça.
To govern it, the matriarch, working with and through the sovereign, devised the paradigm, a meticulously designed marvel where...
All right already. I'll tell you. Whatever you want, just stop that. The fact is, we lose power to charge our mechs, this place is done for. Final nail in the coffin, or similarly minded metaphor of your choosing. Not that the paradigm would allow that, of course.
Vigilists within Auntie's choice, though don't fret. The
Outsider.
resilient, the system
Bon, il avait pas de quête à me donner en fait. Mais il me permet d'en apprendre plus. Je vais faire les deux.
keep doing your job
Je vais jouer les deux tableaux. Je vais faire le focus.
Look who's back.
Je vais lui permettre de réparer ses automechas. Rien que pour faire la quête déjà. Et puis par contre... trouver les pièces de rechange pour automecha. Mais du coup, j'irai s'aborder quand même après. Alors, sauf si évidemment, du coup, enfin, je me retrouve avec le fait que ce soit un succès immédiat pour Westport. C'est West quoi déjà ça? Westport. Et que j'ai pas l'occasion de faire le sabotage. Par contre, oui, évidemment, dès que ces automechas ils seront réparés, la mission de sabordage sera peut-être plus difficile.
Must be at least a few usable parts in here. Ah, it's warped. Just like everything else.
Who goes there? By orders of Marshal Donaldson, no one comes or goes to the Automech Repair Center without approval. What's your business here?
Now you've done it. Slowing down a ranking protectorate official is worth 10, 20 demerits if you're lucky.
All right, let's not lose our heads over a simple misunderstanding. You're free to pass. Marshal Donaldson likes to greet new arrivals personally. We'll let him know you're inbound, so no one shoots on sight. Oh, and fair warning, watch out for xeranium gas. We sprung a leak. Definitely the second one. But it's like the Marshal says, in war, evacuation is not an option. One more thing. Don't cause any trouble around these parts. Donaldson runs a tight ship and has zero tolerance for lawbreakers. You're free to pass, stranger.
Mais j'avais pas un truc à viser laser là, ou c'est le schéma que j'ai eu? Ou j'ai eu que le schéma? Ah ça. Il est où le désignateur laser? Bah... Je vois pas c'est quoi le désignateur laser.